Hey everybody! So today's video is about Max Domi. I'm going to take a look at his career and try to decide whether Max Domi is the player that was here last year, 28 goals, 44 assists, 72 points, career year, or is he the player that the other 4 seasons where he basically gets about 50 points and still a good player, not taking that away from him, but is he the career year guy or is he the guy from this season? And that's all right here at Talking Habs, where everything is dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. If you're a Habs fan, and you want to see more videos like this, head down there, subscribe, ring that notifications bell. That'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blonde, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. While you're on the way down there to do that, give a thumbs up if you like the video. And any comments you may have about Max Domi, about this video, let me know what you think, whether he's the 72-point guy or a 50-point guy. So we're going to try to decide that right here today. I am, anyway. So what I've done here is I've got his season totals here, and broken down home and away. It's not ha. It's broken down by home and away. That's on this board. We'll decide here whether he's a better player at home or away. And on the other board that I have, I've taken his season, broken it down by month, and we'll see what month he's better at, which is better, his best months and which is his worst months. And we're going to try to decide whether Max Domi is a 72-point a year player or he is a 50-point a year player. So he's a restricted free agent at the end of this season. I do believe this regular season is done. The NHL announced today that they will extend this suspension till the 6th of April, at which time they'll decide whether the regular season will be canceled or not, and it has nothing to do with the playoffs, but the regular season I do believe will get canceled. I don't think they'll have time to finish it. Not even 100% sure now at this point about the playoffs, so we'll have to see how that goes. So Max Domi is up for kind of either a really big contract or maybe even a bridge type contract. I don't really know at this point. He is making, I believe, $3.15 million right now. Going into this season, you kind of figured he was going to get somewhere around $7 million a year, 8-year contract probably. Then he had not his best season, and I think it cost him a little bit of money and maybe a little bit of term on that new contract. So let's try to decide what type of player he is. So Max Domi started his career with the Arizona Coyotes in the 2015-2016 season, get my words right. He played 81 games, had 18 goals, 34 assists for 52 points, was a +3 and 156 shots, 3 power play goals, 12 power play assists, and 16-22 on the ice, total ice time. If you break it down by home and away, at home, 40 games, 11 goals, 22 assists, 33 points, +9. I'm not going to go over the rest of that for this part. Away, 41 games, 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points, -6. Clearly, guy was better at home. 2016-17, played only 59 games. He had an injury, I believe, in December at some point, and he did not play any games in January. He had 9 goals, 29 assists, 38 points, so that's not bad. 38 points in 59 games. -9, 108 shots, 1 goal, 7 assists on the power play, and a total of 16:59 ice time. At home, 28 games at home, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points, -4. 31 games away, 4 goals, 17 assists, 21 points, -5. It's pretty even there, I think, for that season. So that's not for sure here. 2017-18, his last season in Arizona, played 82 games, full schedule, 9 goals, 36 assists, 45 points, and a -7. Granted, probably not on a great team, Arizona, not a big scoring team ever, and yeah, so we know that. Also had 150 shots, 1 goal, 8 assists on the power play, and time on ice, 16:42. At home, 41 games, so he played a full schedule. 5 goals, 20 assists at home for 25 points at a +2. On the road, 4 goals, 16 assists, 20 points, -9. Clearly a little better at home. So far, 2 out of 3 seasons, Max Domi is a better player at home. 2018-19 season, his career year, first year in Montreal, 82 games, 28 goals, 44 assists, 72 points, a +20, 203 shots, 4 goals, 7 assists on the power play, total ice time of 17:23. At home and away, he was virtually the same. 14 goals, 22 assists, 36 points. 11 +11 at home, +9 on the road. It's virtually the same. So in this season, as in this, basically played both just as well. Last season, and I'm calling it last season because I believe it's over, but this season that hasn't really ended yet, he played 71 games, 17 goals, 27 assists, 44 points, -3, 179 shots, 1 goal, 10 assists on the power play, and a total ice time of 17:06 per game. Home and away, 37 games at home, 7 goals, 17 assists, 24 points, +1. Away, 34 games, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points, -4. Once again, not greatly better at home, but definitely better at home by some margin. In the 5 seasons, 3 of them, he's better at home than away. So we can definitely say Max Domi is a better player at home. Now, let me change boards and we'll take a look at his monthly stats, monthly breakdown. All right, so now we've got the breakdown here, obviously by the year, and these are the months. So October, November, December, January, February, March, and then there's a stat of for their wins, his points, and in losses. So whether he's a better player points-wise when they win or lose. I imagine most players are probably better when they win, but I don't think it's true for everybody. So we'll find this out here for Max. 2015-16. In October, 11 points. I'm not going to break them down, but 11 games, 11 points. In November, 12 games, 9 points. These are his plus minuses, +3, +5. In December, 14 games, 7 points. January, 12 games, 5 points. February, 14 games, 10 points. March, 13 games, 7 points. I didn't include April because there's usually only 2 or 3 games, so it's not that important. In the wins for Arizona, because first year is in Arizona. 34 games they won, 12 goals, 17 assists, 29 points. 47 losses, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points. Clearly, he's better in the wins. And like I said, I would think most players are. 2016-17. I don't know if I want to. It's going to take a long time to go through everything, but well, we'll go through it. October, 8 games, 6 points. November, 13 games, 9 points. December, 5 games, 1 point. This is where he got injured. No games in January. February, 13 games, 10 points. March, 16 games, 8 points. In the wins, 22 games. They won, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points. In the losses, 37 losses, 3 goals, 12 assists, 15 points. Once again, Max Domi, much better player. In the win, so there's that. When Max has a good game, they win. When he doesn't, they lose. I don't know. 2017-18, October, 13 games, 9 points. November, 15 games, 6 points. December, 13 games, 4 points. January, 9 games, 2 points. February, 12 games, 6 points. March, 17 games, 15 points. In the wins, 29 wins, 6, 17, 23, 53 losses. 3 goals, 19 assists, 22. Once again, clearly better in the wins. Last season, when he had his career year, he had 11 points in October, 15 in November, 11 in December, 7 in January, 15 in February, and 11 in March. In the wins, 44 wins last year, 18 goals, 32 assists, 50 points. 38 losses, 10 goals, 12 assists, 22 points. 4 seasons in a row. Max Domi is by far a better player when they're winning. So maybe when Max is having good games, the team wins. That seems to be what the stats are showing me. This past season, October, 11 points. November, 6. points. December, 13 points. January, only 4 points. February, 10 points. And March, there was only 4 games. He had no points in March. In the wins, 31 wins, 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points. 40 losses, 9 goals, 14 assists, 23 points. Once again, Max Domi, 5 years in a row, better player when they're winning. So Max Domi, when he's hot and he's playing well, the team goes with him. And they usually win when Max is playing well. Now, if you go by the months, which are his better months? I added them up. I left them over on the table over there, so just give me a sec. Okay, so which month does Max Domi play better? In October, in his whole career, he's had 48 points in October. November, 45 points. December, 35 points. January, 18 points. Now, but you got to consider he had one January where he didn't play at all. February, 51 points, and March, 41 points. So Max Domi, his best month. I put January. That's his worst month. Or his worst months are January's, where he has only 18 points total in his career in January, and best is February with 51 points. So Max Domi is a better player in February than January. Big difference a month makes. Scoreless games. In his best season, 32 scoreless games. Consistency, that's what that's about. He was most consistent last season, and it was his best year. That's one thing you notice about him is scoreless games. He's very inconsistent when he's not having a career year. 43 scoreless games his first season, 29, but that was in only 59 games. 52 in his third season, last season in Arizona, and 37 this season in 71 games. He was probably, you're looking at probably around 43 like he had here. So Max Domi needs to get more consistent. And I think if he finds his consistency, he'll find that he can be a 70-point player instead of a 50-point player. So until Max Domi finds his consistency, Max Domi is basically, I'm saying, a 50, 55-point player. He's an RFA in the off-season. That kind of, when you take a look at that and say, well, what's his ceiling? Max Domi's ceiling is probably that career high, 72. You're looking at probably somewhere in the 70, 75 points. That's probably Max Domi's ceiling, if you, in my opinion. And he is basically a 50 to 60-point player. Hopefully he can find his consistency a little bit and get to that where he can be around 60 points every year. Listen, 60 points for, especially a guy, he's not huge in stature, but he plays big. So he 60 points from a guy like Max Domi, I'd be happy with that if he could be consistent. And there you go. There's my first ever look at something like this. I've never done it. It took me a few days to figure out how I wanted to do this. And yeah, I think we can say Max Domi would probably get, I'm going to expect that they're going to probably sign him somewhere about 6 years, $5.5 million, $6 million a year. That's my best guess from looking at his stats and figuring out that Max Domi is more than likely 55-point player, not a 72-point player in general. He'll have gusts up that way, but in general, he's about 55 points. So there you go. There's my look at Max Domi, my prediction for what they might sign him at. And of course, I could be totally wrong about that, and they'll sign him to 8 years, $7 million. But I think going into the season, that was probably what you're looking at. He was going to be re-signed if he had a good season for the full 8 years, and somewhere about 6.5, 7.5 million. But I think with this very inconsistent again season, that brought those numbers down. And yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything like that. For me, I would say 6 years, 5.5, maybe 6 million. So there you go. There's my look at Max Domi. What type of player he is. Now we know that he's a better player at home. He plays either he plays better when they're winning or when in their wins, or when he's playing well, the team wins. Could be that too. And his best month is February, and his worst month is January. So there you go, Max Domi, my look at him. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. while you're on your way down there to do that, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and hit that notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Blue Montrouge Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And please leave any comments you may have about Max, about the video I just did, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with me about what he might be signed for, length of term and dollar amount, and if you agree or not with my assessment that Max Domi is basically a 55-point-a-year player with gusts up to 70 points. And there you go. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate that you do. And peace out, y'all.